The following review has been approved by Ethel the Cyborg Ninja. Welcome to Classic Game Room for the review of Stealth ATF on the NES. Pay attention to the low altitude warning if you want to avoid splattering your craft and yourself all over the terrain. From Activision, released in 1989, this is Stealth ATF for your NES. ATF stands for Advanced Tactical Fighter, not alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. It's not that much fun. This is America's most closely guarded military secret. On the Nintendo. It's in your hands, you're at the controls, flying top priority combat missions against enemy forces around the world. Sounds like every other game in this genre, except this time you have a useless stealth button. Seriously, if you feel like you're about to get shot down or overwhelmed by enemy forces, one time per mission you can push the start button, which supposedly makes you invisible to radar, but it also eliminates them from your radar, so not very helpful. Stealth ATF isn't awful. It's actually not too bad, but it doesn't know whether it wants to be Top Gun or a flight simulator, because for the most part, enemies fly straight at you and you try to shoot them down when you first see them or launch missiles at them. But then they fly around behind you and you can try to dogfight with them, but that doesn't play well at all. So you're always better off just flying straight at them and then attempting to dodge whatever they shoot at you. You can try to shoot them down from behind, but I found that I just ended up flying in circles forever and eventually ran out of gas. Stealth ATF has its moments. The packaging, in particular, looks really nice. I love the cover art. The graphics aren't too bad, the backgrounds are colorful, and the music's kinda catchy. But the gameplay is sluggish, and the fact is there's far better flight games on the NES. Top Gun in particular blows this away. Each mission will see you fighting more enemies, and the landing sequences are comically easy after you figure it out. It's an okay game. The fact is there's nothing that makes stealth really stand out. Except the silly stealth button, which seriously just doesn't work at all. Stick with your Top Gun or Afterburner, but I've got a Classic Game Room shout out and thank you. To send to Mary from Westbrook, Maine, for sending Stealth to this show. Thank you, Mary. This isn't one I'd really recommend, but if you like old school flight sims or flight action games and want to give it a try, there is a scoring system. You get more points for blowing up enemies with your guns, conserving your missiles, and getting things done quickly. So there's a bit of replay value in the arcade component to it, but it's far from the greatest flight game on your NES. So, problem as I see it is the dogfighting parts are just kind of tedious. Like, the map doesn't really rotate in the same way that you're flying, so it's like you're following an enemy, but then the next thing you know, they're behind you or entering the screen again from the top of the radar. You're not flying in a real 3D environment. This is a 2D 8-bit wonderland, which is great if it's an Afterburner clone, but not when they're going for a real flight sim like this. Regardless, if you think it looks cool, maybe it's worth it. It's only a couple bucks out there. Stealth ATF for the NES.